First of all, obviously a big game tonight, Columbus coming in here. What is the importance of this game for the standings, kind of solidifying that playoff position for you guys?
Yeah, it's definitely a very important game, and we know that. So I think we got last game, I think, got away from what we did the games before. So we gotta get back to that where we have playoff mindset, where we really dial in all three zones, and we didn't do that last game. So I think we need that extra edge tonight.
And we talked about rinsing the last game. When it comes to the game you played last time against Columbus, do you have to rinse that too? Or are there things you can kind of take away from the last time when you guys beat them 5-3 in Jersey?
Yeah, we did a lot of good things. I think our start was really good. So we got to focus on that. That we come here tonight ready to play, ready to be skating right off the start.
And what is that mindset? Because obviously you had a good start in Pittsburgh and then kind of lost some of that momentum. How do you kind of maintain that momentum throughout the game? Because there's going to be some ups and downs, obviously.
Yeah, you got to keep building. Like I said, it starts with a good start, but then you got to build and within all situations of the games, special teams and everything. So I think the focus definitely, playing a well defensive game, doing the things that we've showed in those 3 games that we've won. The things that we did well, we got to continue to do them because that's what brings us success.
Last one for you is just for Jesper Bratt. Obviously, 9 points in the last 3 games. Has been playing tremendous. What have you seen in his game? Maybe?
Yeah, he's unbelievable what he does, the way he skates, and the way he can, take on guys one-on-one, and the passes he makes. So just overall, he's been helping us a lot. He's going to continue like that. Definitely need him. He's such an important player for us, and it's happy to see him doing so well.
We talked in January and February some about how it felt like you were doing a lot of things right and just not good luck. Puck wasn't going in. Now, obviously, it's going in. Do you feel like you're doing anything differently or better than you were in January, February, or is it just a matter of the puck's going in, a little more opportunity, things like that right now?
No, I think, I measure my play also by, the team's success. So I think if I can play well and I can help the team win, that's what matters to me. So the other thing, pucks are going to go in if you continue to the work and then play an honest game for your team. So I think for me it's about keep doing that, and obviously you want to put the puck in the net, but at the end of the day, whatever it takes to help the team have success.
Building on that, like when you're playing with Nico like you have been here lately, obviously that means you're getting the hard defensive matchup as well, out there against McDavid's and Draisaitl's in Edmonton, the Crosby's in Pittsburgh. How do you feel like your defensive game has grown this year? I know we've talked about it some, that allows you to continue to stand up well even against guys like that.
Yeah, you got to take pride in defending, and like I said, you got to do what's asked of you to help the team have success. So if that's a more defensive role, you want to do that to the best of your ability. And we're in a playoff race here, so it's about the commitment you have, and everybody, we need to play well defensively, and then the offensive stuff will come if you do that work.
Timo, after the game on Saturday, Shelton mentioned consistency again, and just finding that. It's taken a while so far, right? 3 wins is the max. What's the next step to find that? What's missing at this point, do you think?
Yeah, just that extra edge, I think. When you have a winning streak, you can't get away from the stuff that got you there, the stuff that brought you success. So I think we got away from that last game, and it's some days you might not have your legs and you might not feel the puck as well, but that's when you got to go back to the basics and keep it especially then very simple and just work. So consistency is definitely a big thing, and for us the focus is on obviously the start of the game, and we want to be consistent in RF and the way we play.
What was missing then? You said you got away from the game. What didn't you do?
It starts with breakouts. We didn't break out well, but I think the biggest thing is we lost too many battles. We were late to pucks. They were winning more pucks battle than us, and that's at this time of the year you're not going to win a game if it's like that.
Playing Columbus, obviously a massive game when it comes to the playoff implications. What are you expecting from tonight's battle?
We just played these guys not even whatever it was a week ago, so I think we're going to have to expect their best. A team that's kind of in a similar situation to us, where already kind of playing playoff hockey, so should be as advertised tonight, a tough, physical, hard game.
What do you take away from the previous game? Some of the things you did right, some things you did wrong, lessons learned?
Yeah, for us personally, for our team, yeah, I mean, we were going pretty good, trying to get our footing going, and then a letdown game for us against Pittsburgh the other night. Just a lot of self-inflicted stuff, whether it was us giving the puck away or breakdowns that we hadn't been making for the previous 3 games. So I think just important for our group to kind of get back on track and understand that it's one game. Kind of almost prove to ourselves that we can be a mature group, and again, the game tonight itself against the opponent kind of speaks for itself.
They've been shut out the last 2 games, but kind of you don't really want a team coming in and getting shut out that many times, especially because you know how good offensively they are. What do you expect them from the offensive side of the play?
Well, when you're struggling to score, you simplify things. So we've got to expect, they've got big forwards, and they've proven all year that they can score goals. So whether that's tips or pucks at the net and crashing the net, I think for all 5 guys on the ice, they're going to have to be aware defensively. And I feel like when we've been at our best, for Devils hockey, we've been, just 5 tight towards our net. We've been defending hard, and in turn, when we turn pucks over to be able to go the other way is when we capitalize. So, it'll be a good test for us tonight against a big-time motivated group on the other side, and it should be a good game.
Emotionally, it's easy to ride the roller coaster, like be high after 3 wins, down after a performance like Saturday. How do you guys in the room avoid the ebbs and flows like that?
Well, that's kind of almost like playoff hockey. Whether you win one game 10-0 or you lose one game, it's just one game that whether you won it or lost it, you've got to be able to wipe it because you've probably got a game, a couple days later. So we've been talking about kind of getting that playoff mindset in here where it's one game. Win or lose, you've got to get to the next one, and just try not to lose a couple in a row. Which since Christmas time, we've talked about it enough in the locker room that we've just got to keep rolling and get guys feeling good about their game, get the team game, first and foremost in a good spot. So, we've just got to focus on ourselves, I think, more than anything, and hopefully get back to winning.
Timo was saying a moment ago that on Saturday puck battles were lost, too many for his liking. Is that a sign a little bit of that maturity that you're talking about in a game? Like at this time of the season, maybe even in opening night you can, but at this time particularly, it just can't happen.
Yeah, no, one goal could be the kind of defining moment in a game, can be the difference in a game, and whether that's face-offs where getting that puck over the blue line or keeping it in your zone, or getting the red line to make sure it's not icing, or that battle in front for a rebound. Like those are all just, it might not seem like much when the puck just goes to the corner, gets out, but it's the difference at this time of year especially. Games are only going to get harder, whether that's teams fighting for home ice or for a playoff spot in general. We've, as a group, got to understand it's an important time of year, and I think that's as the veteran guys and guys that have been in the playoff hockey, we've got to kind of spread that around and understand it's hard, and every shift's hard, and we've kind of talked about that in the room too, from Sheldon on through, that it's not always the easiest or fun brand of hockey, but it's the kind that we're going to have to play if we want to win.
Were you surprised a little bit off a 3-game winning streak that kind of leaked back into the game?
Yeah, we scored the first goal of the game. We kind of may not have been playing our best, but that's kind of where you've almost got to push that much further to cheat for the defensive side, or just be super sure on our plays, getting them out, not turning it over. And their first 2 goals, we have the puck, we've got full possession of it, and again, whether it's a lost puck battle or a turnover, we've just got to find a way to kind of eliminate that stuff. And of course, anytime you give up 7 goals, you're probably not going to win the hockey game. So I don't think that's a recipe for us. But all in all, we've just got to, it's one game, wipe it, and understand that we've got to get back to a big win tonight.
Coach, looking at Eric Hall taking some line rushes today, I know you made some of these changes, players in and out of the lineup. What do you expect when guys kind of come out of the lineup and come back in? A response?
Yeah, it's, you're refreshed and you come in a little extra motivation, a little extra push. We've played a lot of hockey here of late, so if anybody takes a game off, you think he has a little extra juice. So he was playing well before he came out, and expect him to do the same when he goes back in.
Talked a lot about consistency within a game, and when there's moments, because obviously momentum comes and goes and waves, how do you want the team to kind of fight back and gain the momentum when they kind of lost it maybe in a shift or two?
It's not about what shift or two game. To me, it's just a mindset for our team. Like, you know, we were playing really good hockey, and a lot of that to me was just on our mindset going in and recognizing what's at stake and having the urgency and competitiveness that we play with meet that moment. And we didn't do it in Pittsburgh. So when you do that, you lose. That's just the way the league works, and that's where we're at as a team. So it's a good reminder for us about what we need to be about.
What did you feel you did best when these teams met 6 days ago?
Well, we got out to a hot start, obviously. Played well, but it's kind of what I was talking about. We just came out on our toes, were aggressive, recognizing the urgency of the game and the situation, and then meeting the moment. So that's what's going to be required here. You know, with whatever it is here, 14 games or so remaining, like, that's the standard. That's what's required. And when you don't have that, it's real hard to win. And with where we're at right now as a team, we can't afford to take a second off.
Building off of his question about mindset, how involved do you get as a coach when it comes to coaching the mental side of the game? Because maybe some guys handle situations differently than others. Do you let them kind of deal with it, or how involved do you get when it comes to that side?
Well, I think it's a big part of my job. You know, you have a lot of other guys that on our coaching staff that, you know, can prepare the team and talk to them about tactics and these sorts of things, and I'll do my share of that. But a big part of the job is kind of framing each day. Collectively for the team, but then some individuals as well, framing it and giving them the information that they need, sometimes giving them the perspective that they need or the answers about what may have went wrong, and kind of putting things back into check. That is certainly a huge part of the job, and probably more important than anything that happens tactically, because if you don't have the right frame of mind, the right attitude and approach to a game, then you're not going to be able to execute anything tactically anyway. So that's sort of where I thought we were at the other night. You know, you look watching the game back, and so many things that, you know, can be rooted in just a simple puck battle or a little extra push in your skating stride to get there a little bit earlier, and digging in just a little bit more. And you don't do that, all of a sudden, instead of you being on top of the other team, they're on top of you. So it's really is a mindset that we've got to work through every day.
Sheldon, you talked about it, and the league is balanced, and the other team is trying to. But given where you were, 3 straight wins, starting to regain some confidence, that some of those steps back were taken on Saturday, but that you couldn't, the team was not able to sustain that right way, if you will, whatever you want to call it, from a mental approach.
I kind of lost you there. Was there a question in that?
Myself in the question, yeah. Were you surprised that the team made some of the mistakes that you referenced, not getting to the red line, turning the puck over?
Yeah. I mean, was I surprised? Yeah, you start to feel good about your group and where you're at, and you're reinforcing it, and you're talking about it. But you are who you are until you're not. You know, that's the reality, and we got to find our way through and keep recognizing how hard and difficult it is to find that level of consistency. You know, we've struggled with that all year. We start to take some steps and feel good about our game, and then we slip. You know, the reason why we're still in the playoff fight is we've bounced back pretty good, which is what we'll need to do here today, certainly. But it's hard, you know, when you're playing every other day to maintain that level. And you talk about maybe not getting lines, you're not getting pucks in. Like, that's partially execution, but partially just like I was talking about with the other team being on top of you. I mean, Pittsburgh was all over us. They were real tight with their gaps, and a lot of that is just that they were able to get to their game a lot more frequently than we were. So when we're playing at our best, we're on top of teams and making it real hard for them. And we're usually, you know, giving ourselves another 6 inches to a foot to make a play or to get a line offensively. So that's ultimately, in many cases, that is the difference in the league.
You've mentioned it a handful of times that you think of Markstrom as your starting goaltender, and at the beginning of the year, having 2 veteran goaltenders, creating healthy competition for each other. But at this point in the year, how does that maybe ramp up with Markstrom still getting to the top of his game out of injury, and those two leaning on each other but also pushing each other at the same time? Yeah,
obviously Marky's injury situation, you know, changes it a little bit. You know, prior to that injury, he was in such a groove and Was playing a lot for us and was playing tremendously well. So it's taken a bit to get back to that, and he's not quite there yet. So we are fortunate that we have someone like Jake who has been great all season, but it was especially great when Markey was out and helped us out. And obviously Nico Dawes came in here, did a good job. So goaltending has been such a big part of giving us a chance to win every day. We feel confident in Jake, and to be able to put him in, give him an opportunity here tonight, and give Markey a little bit more of a opportunity to continue to work at his game and find his own groove, which we know he will. It's a good luxury for us to have, and with how Jake's played and the confidence that his teammates have in him.
With him playing so well while Markstrom was out, do you think, knowing that Jake is a good option for your team, do you think that pushes Markstrom to try to get to that point quicker, or that dynamic?
Yeah, I mean, I think Markey he's an ultimate competitor. He wants to be in that net and pushes himself every day in practice and in games, and wants to be the guy. He doesn't like to miss games. No moment's too big for him. He wants to be out there, and that's what I love about him. His teammates love about him. But it's natural. I mean, when you're getting pushed. I just looking at it from experience from this season, I think Jake played really well. And on a daily basis was fighting for the net in the early part of the season, and through that, it's when Markey found his best game. So we don't have a lot of time left here. Obviously, the games are going to get falling off the calendar pretty quickly, but we're fortunate to have two goalies we believe in, and I still know that Markey's going to be there for us in the end. He battled his ass off out on the ice there this morning, and Jake will be ready tonight, but Markey will be ready to go when we go again next.